Hello and welcome. My name is Kim Parkinson. I'm a podcast growth coach, podcast producer, podcast host, and speaker. And today we're going to be talking about how to stay consistent when life gets busy, especially right now around those holiday times. So, why does this even matter? And let me tell you, it's the holidays, right? They just shift everything around. There's a lot more things that are happening, maybe outside of your home or maybe inside your home, but you need to prepare for those. There's a lot of different things, holiday shopping, baking, wrapping gifts, or maybe it's just caroling and trimming the tree or having some fun with family and friends, a nice beautiful dinner. That is just going to kind of impede on your normal business arrangements that you have. So holidays bring scheduling changes, the energies just shift, obligations are here. Sometimes you've got so much going on that you're so tired and the creativity isn't exactly where it's supposed to be. But you know what? Your voice still matters and you need to still stay present so that you can stay connected to your audience. This applies to not only now, but also beyond the holidays. So we're talking summer breaks and we're talking wedding seasons. We're talking busy family months where there are 16 different birthdays in that one month. And you're thinking, how can I fit anything more in? This also applies to maybe you get an illness or a family member might need you. Anytime life is just really feeling full or maybe overwhelming, this is a good little couple of good little tips to allow you to plan for those times that are coming up. Consistency, not perfection. That is what we are aiming for. We want to keep your podcast flowing, keep your audience connected, and we want to keep your business visible. So I need you to anchor into the next 60 to 90 days. And I want you to ask yourself a couple questions here. What is your business going to be focused on? Are you going to be launching a program? Are you opening a membership? Do you have some type of a holiday offer? Are you going to be having a workshop or a challenge? Or are you just looking for general visibility? All of these over the next 60, 90 days here, or even just the next 30 days, if you are watching this at the end of November, this is going to align your episodes with the season. And you can mention what might be coming up, right? You can plant those seeds early of what you might be doing in January or what you might be doing for Black Friday or what you might have for the holidays. But while you're sharing your stories, you're going to share your offer and you're just going to build some type of general anticipation. Just that excitement is going to start building. So if you know what you are going to be offering starting in January or maybe even beyond, depending on when your busy season is, then you might want to just reflect on that and just write that down so that you can then decide what you're going to be alluding to or teasing on your episodes. So, again, as a program launch, a membership reopening, something like that. So, just keep that in mind as you are moving forward with your episodes so that you can stay consistent. And so people know what is coming up for you. And it makes it so much easier because you can actually talk about what it is that you're going to be bringing to them. All right. So, here's a couple of holiday moments to start leveraging. We all know this. Next week is Black Friday. We've got Small Business Saturday. We've got Cyber Monday. We've got some mid-December touch points. If you are a spiritual woman, you could actually do something around winter solstice. That would be really fun. Then you also have all of the typical holidays that you have in December, maybe a birthday or an anniversary as well. And then you have that New Year's energy, that yay, let's get going. People love the New Year's energy and they are ramped up and ready to get going, maybe January 2nd. All right. So, again, consistency over perfection. That's why I put consistency over perfection here. Your audience wants connection with you, but they do not care about perfect production. They do not care about whether or not you said 1,000 times. They just really want to hear you, your voice, and what you have to say. My other thing, keep your episodes shorter right now. Shorter episodes are absolutely fine. They don't have a ton of time to listen to you or to pay attention to what exactly it is that you're talking about. So you really want to just really condense that as much as possible. Let them go listen to the holiday music or let them go do their Christmas shopping or their holiday shopping, but make sure that you are delivering them something. Simple topics are fine. Something very quick and easy. Quick and easy wins are perfect. Conversational style works. And again, just show up as you are. So, you know what? If you don't have makeup on and you do YouTube videos, it's okay. It's all right because they're probably showing up without their makeup on too. All right. Now, a couple of things here. I would love to see you try your very hardest to batch your episodes. And you don't need 9 episodes at once or 6 episodes at once. Try to do maybe 2 a week for a couple of weeks if you can. And that's going to bring you forward to the next month till January. So, for instance, if you did 2 this week, 2 next week, and 1 the week after, that's all of December. If you release on a Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, if you release on Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, you only needed 4 of those. So, that's kind of a nice thing for this time. So, you're going to have holiday coverage throughout the whole time. You're going to be ready in January. You might even have some episodes going into January, which means future stress, bink, gone. All right, so let's get ready for some expansion here. We're going to have a short season, right? It's September through mid-November is when the podcast growth season happens. So we are now in mid-November, which means downloads are going to start dropping off just a smidgy, and they will start to grow again in January. Does that mean you should stop releasing episodes? No. That just means that you can make those episodes something that is a little different, right? You can try something a little different because people are going to be listening differently because they're going to be listening maybe not as often, maybe not as consistently. Or you could have those people that binge. You just never know. But if you prepare now, you can start January on a great foot. And then once January starts, January through May, it is go time. It is time for those episodes to get dropped because that is when that season of growth is happening. So get ready for it. All right. So I have a couple of easy episode ideas. I think I've got like 4 or 5 of them here on these. So let's run into these. So easy episode idea number 1, reruns. Why not? I grew up with reruns. And you know what? Sometimes you want to take a look at your rerun and you want to maybe do some that are underrated, right? Ones that maybe didn't have as many downloads because you released them and something in the world happened, right? Or if something in the world didn't happen, which occasionally happens too, but if something, maybe there was a holiday. Or maybe you just rushed it out and you didn't do all of the promo material as you should have because you were going on vacation or something like that. Maybe the guest forgot to promote it, or maybe you didn't send out the information to the guest. So these are some great ideas for rerunning an older episode that maybe didn't get the love and the download numbers that you would like it to. When you do this, don't forget on your stat sheet to make sure that you write that down so that you can add those two together so you know what that's actually doing. This is also a great time for some foundational type teachings. And you know what? Here's another thing. Just because you released an episode a couple of months ago doesn't mean that it's not hitting different now. You might have more knowledge about this episode now than you did back then. And you might be able to say, you know what? I loved episode 12, but let me tell you, I don't really feel the way I felt about it now. And this is how it's changed. So you can have some real different ones. And you never know when that episode will be listened to by someone. And maybe when they first listened to it, they were in a different place, a different state of mind. But now they're listening to the rerun and they're saying, yeah, now I get it. So, all right, episode idea number 2, a community peak. Yeah. So record a small part of maybe a membership call or a workshop call, maybe some sort of a fun Zoom gathering. Maybe you're having like a review party, right? Or a networking party. And you can just record just a little snippet of that where you're talking about it and you're really getting the audience excited about it. That is going to be super exciting for your listeners to hear because they're going to know that you do these fun things for your members or people that are on your newsletter list or people that are in your world in some way. So make it a group celebration and share it out there to the world. And you know what? If you're already doing it, record it and send it out. No reason to do it twice. All right, episode idea number 3. This is actually a pretty easy one, I feel. A meditation, a ritual, a ceremony. Winter solstice is coming up. If you're going to have a ceremony for winter solstice, makes perfect sense to be recording it and releasing part of it as an episode, right? It's great for anybody that is in the spiritual audience. And if you're not into a spiritual sense like I am, you could still do this, but with some type of a ceremony that you might have been having, or some type of a meditation, something that might be grounding, a year-end intention, or something that is just an affirmation of some type. Just talk about something that really speaks to you. Maybe you talk about a book that you just read and it was absolutely amazing, and you feel like this would be something great for them to pick up for Christmas or for, somebody else's birthday later on. Something like that will really just boost that excitement for you. It will maintain your consistency, and it will also just allow you to have a short little episode that will be easy for you to make and create. All right, episode idea number 4, reflection, right? So this is going to be going back to kind of what I mentioned previously, but this is like lessons learned. So episode 12, I really believed firmly in da 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 da, but now I really feel firmly that maybe that doesn't have to be like da 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 da, and you can actually do this as well. So sometimes we have evolved and we have learned, and maybe it's not an episode from this year, maybe it's an episode from last year, and it sticks in your head and you're like, you know what, I really don't feel like I really did that justice, and this is how I would like to do it now. You can just make a quick little episode, point back to that old episode, and just say, this is how I have evolved, this is how I have grown, and this is now what I believe. People love that. Lessons learned. You can also introduce or reintroduce a favorite guest. So if you had a guest on earlier in the season and that person has some time, go ahead and have them back on. Why not? And then you can have a little conversation about the previous episode or what's coming up in the future for them or future for the two of you. Maybe you're doing a collaboration and you want to talk about it. And then there's always those shifts. Sometimes we have changed. Sometimes our business has changed. And sometimes both. And when that happens, maybe you're moving into a different direction. And maybe you're going to release that membership that you had, but you're moving more into one-on-one. And you just really feel like that is going to be a slower pace for you, and you're okay with it because you have other things to do. You're moving and changing your direction. And so if this is what's shifting in you, it's time to just tell the audience what is shifting and why you are moving into a different direction, maybe starting in January with the January episodes. And then another one that people love is behind the scenes stories. So that's like what's going on right now. What's going on behind the scenes? Why is it so late in the day when Kim's recording? She looks so dark in that lighting. And that's okay. It's just behind the scenes. What's going on? Why is it? Why can I not record when I'm supposed to be recording? What is happening? Maybe I'm having a momentous birthday. Maybe I'm having a fantastic anniversary and I'm going out with friends. And this is why I'm going to drop here and I'm just going to tell you what's going on in my life. But right now, I'm super busy. I'm still here, still want to be in your ears, but I just want to give you this one little tidbit of information of behind the scenes of what's going on. And I'll be back next week with more, right? Something fun like that would be a great episode idea. Episode idea number 5, gratitude. Now, if you listen to Podcasting for Spiritual Women, next week's episode, which will be November 25th episode, I believe that's episode 36, that's going to be my gratitude episode. I'm going to bring you some information about me and about how grateful I am that's going on. Make this an episode that's simple, that's powerful. You want to thank the listeners. You want to thank the people in your life that mean something and tell a story behind it. People love stories. People love to listen to stories. So if you can share memories and stories from the year, people, that's what they're looking for. They're looking for the feel good stories this time of year. Now, you can also tease a little bit of what's coming up if you have a preview. If you've done your original alignment with the 60 to 90-day plan that I talked about earlier, then you might know what's coming up and you can kind of give them the heads up like, hey, don't forget, just wanted to let you know that my membership is open and we are now accepting new people. Yeah, actually it is. So let me know. Okay, on to the next one. Episode idea number 6. Now, I believe this is the last one that I have, and then I have a couple more pieces here. But easy episode idea, a Q&A. What are people asking you all the time? What is on your website that they have asked you that you have answered, but maybe it's a long paragraph and you're like, you know what? I keep repeating myself. Let me do a podcast episode about it. How amazing is that when somebody reaches out to you in July and says, hey, I have this question about da 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 da. And you're like, yeah, I got it. A podcast episode explains the entire thing. It's episode number, give them the episode number and they can listen to it. And even though you're putting it out in December, it doesn't matter. It's still evergreen and you can answer that question. Now, you could have somebody on and that person, you would answer their one question, or alternatively, get SpeakPipe. SpeakPipe.com actually does, you can have somebody record into it, and then you can answer that question that they have recorded, and it's all online. So they don't have to have a microphone, they don't have to have anything, but you can make sure that they get their question answered. So if it's a question that they are asking, you can send them there. It'll record it for them. You can add it right into your episode, and then, yeah, have just a really easy Q&A. And you know, it doesn't have to be a ton of Q&A either. It can be just one or two, or maybe a couple more if you feel like you need to. Just make sure that they're valuable and they're fast. And don't forget, they should be evergreen so that you can send people to this episode that you record any time of the year. All right. Now, what should you avoid during the busy season? What I would definitely avoid, number one, is any kind of montage. Do not go back in and try to find funny little quips from this episode and this episode and this episode, unless you've already been doing that the whole time. If you've already been doing that, then go ahead and put those together. But for the most part, most of us probably weren't. So don't even bother. Don't bother grabbing all those highlight reels or the compilations or even the outtakes. I really feel like outtakes is a fun thing, but unless you've been doing it all along, it's going to take too much time this time of year to do it. I don't know, maybe a good February project when we're, knee deep in snow and there's something that you need to do, nothing else that you need to do, and you might as well do those. That might be a good idea to pull those at that time. But for right now, all of these suggestions here, montages, highlight reels, compilations, outtakes, they're going to take too much time and too much editing. And you don't have that right now. So avoid these. All right. Now, remember, consistency builds trust. Prepare now for the busiest and the biggest podcast growth season, which is January through the end of May, sometimes beginning of June. And I want you to plan your content. Batch where you can and just use some of these easy episode ideas because how much fun is that, right? All right. So last bit, it's your podcast and it's your path. So if you have any kind of a idea or anything that you have that you might want to be helped with, I have a form here and I think it might be on top of the form and I don't know how to get myself off of the form. Let me see if that helps at all. I have a little QR code here that you can just click on, and that form is going to just bring you right to a questionnaire that you can fill out. And then we can have a little talk about what could make your life a little bit easier, whether or not that is some visibility, some alignment, or just a conversation. So go ahead and fill that out. And I hope you have an amazing time this holiday season. I hope it lights you up and is super magical. And I hope it actually is easy to continue to stay consistent with your business and your podcast. Remember, where your voice flows, your business grows. Until next time, I am Kim Parkinson, and I will see you again soon. Thanks.